Hi everyone. Have you ever wished Claude could look directly into your database or files and answer your question? Right now, if you ask a question to a Claude to explain about data in your database, can it give you the correct answer? No. The reason being is it cannot access the data in your database. But how can we achieve this? We can achieve this by using MCPs. In this video, we are going to break down what exactly MCP is and how it works and build a custom Python MCP server from scratch that connects Claude directly to your live PostgreSQL database. So what exactly is MCP? Think of large language models like a Claude as a powerful brain. But right now, the brain is sitting in an empty room. MCP is like a universal plug that lets you connect the brain to the outside world. It uses simple client server architecture that breaks down into three parts. The MCP client. This is a AI application like Claude Desktop or your development IDE. It's the one who asking the questions. And the MCP server. This is the custom translator script we write in Python or TypeScript. It exposes specific tools to data or to the clients. And the data sources. These are your local databases or files or external web APIs, etc. And how does it actually works in practical? When you ask Claude what products are in the database, Claude realizes that it does not know, and it looks for all its available MCP tools. Send a request to a local Python server. That server runs a secure SQL query against the database and then sends the raw data back to Claude. Claude reads the data and gives you a perfectly written response. Before we write the code, we need to understand how Claude talks to our server. They communicate using what's called a transport layer. And MCP supports two primary methods, stdio and HTTP with server-sent events. Think of stdio, standard input or output, as a direct wire, walkie-talkie wire. When you open a Claude desktop, it starts your Python script in the background on your same computer. And Claude sends text directly to your script input and script responds right back. It requires zero network configurations, making it incredibly secure and fast for local development. On the other hand, HTTP with SSE is like a standard phone call over internet. This is what you use if the MCP server is hosted out in the cloud. Claude talks to it via secure public web URLs or HTTPS, and the server sent streams data back. And speaking of security, you'll often hear two terms, authentication and authorization. Think of authentication as showing your ID card to a built-in security guard to prove who you are. In our project, that's the username and password we use to log into PostgreSQL. And authorization determines what you are allowed to do once you are inside. For example, we want to authorize Claude to read inventory data, but we definitely do not want to authorize it to delete our entire database. So enough theory, let's start uh, creating a real MCP server. So what we are going to build? We are going to build a simple MCP server. We have a database. We have a simple one table in that database and we have a couple of rows. Claude has to access the data from the database. That is our task. So what we need to do? We need to create an MCP. With that MCP, Claude has to talk to, Claude has to get the data from the database. So first thing first, we'll create a database. What I'm trying to do is like I create a database using Docker. I'm taking an image of PostgreSQL and setting up of user and username, password, and a database, and try to run some scripts while initiating the database. So let's, and what I'm trying to do here is like in the init scripts, I'm just simply creating one a table within the database, a products table, and inserting a couple of rows. It's very simple. So our MCP server now has to read the data from the database and give it to the Claude whenever it requires. So let's build the server. Here is my server code. It's very simple. So first we are importing the MCP server from the FastMCP. and initializing that fast MCP. I'm taking the database configuration, and we are writing a function. It's nothing but tool is nothing but a function. We are writing a function. What it's gonna do? It simply it whenever MCP calls this one, it return the data. So what we are doing here is like we're just connecting to the database and executing the some select query, select all information from the database or database table and returning that information. That's simple function. And we can start this MCP in two ways. As discussed, there one is stdio or SSE. If you want to run it in the local, like Claude is in my local desktop, and I want to run this program in my local, so I can go with standard IO. Or if I want to access, I want to host it as a as how we are hosting as a web API or something like that. If you want to host it, then you'll go with the SSE. So that we can access via HTTP or HTTPS. So right now we'll go with stdio. So if you want, so we have our setup, coding is ready. Our server code is ready. Let's configure this in our Claude. So for that, let's open our Claude application. Go to customize, and here you can see the developer options. You can go to edit config. It will open the Claude Desktop configuration JSON file. Open this file. Here right now I don't have any MCP servers. We need to configure this MCP server. So let's edit this. So I'm creating here a simple PostgreSQL local server, MCP server. What it's gonna do, like it gonna run a command. What command it's going to run? It run Python. It run a server.py file and server.py file using the Python which is installed in my virtual environment. It's simple. So what it gonna happen whenever the Claude wants to run this tool, it gonna run this application and get the data. Let's see in action. So we configured our first MCP server. So to appear this one, we need to restart our Claude. So sometimes we need to kill it in the task manager. Let's kill this. And now restart Claude. Go to customize, connectors. Let's give it a minute. It will appear. See this one. So PostgreSQL local is connector is we have this connector run now, and we can see here that it has a tool called fetch inventory, and here we are configuring in a way that whenever the Claude wants to run this tool, it will ask our permissions. It will ask our approval. If you want to grant it full permissions without asking us if you want it to run, you can set as allow always. Or if you want to block this one, you can block. So right now let's keep the needs approval. Let's test it. Fetch inventory, right? So let's ask Claude, get fetch inventory data. Let's ask Claude. So what it's gonna do, it gonna looks for all tools, available tools, and it finds this Claude a specific tool called PostgreSQL locals fetch inventory, and it'll ask whether you want me to run this tool or not. If you want to allow always, you can allow always, or you allow once. Allow once means we are giving permission to just run execute once. So it's executed and get the data. So here is the data what we configured initially. Yeah, just like that, we have built our first MCP server. And you can use the exact same blueprint to connect Claude to local text files or web APIs or any other data sources. All these code files and Docker setups and configurations used in this video are linked down in the description below. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more AI engineering tutorials, and let me know in the comments what connector you are going to build next. Thank you for watching.